Today we are going to work on our thesis statement, which is very exciting because once we get this down, you are basically on your own when it comes to pacing yourself for your writing. A thesis statement is the lightning bolt of your entire essay. It is exactly what the reader needs to see in order to understand what it is you're writing about. But we're going to avoid all of that lingo, such as, this is what I'm going to write about in my essay, because we are using formal writing for this assignment. So the first thing that you want to do is look at the question that is being asked of you. Should schools require students to wear uniforms on a daily basis? In order to write your thesis statement, you are going to turn the question into a declaration. So for this example, I said schools should require students to wear uniforms on a daily basis. It's that simple. So if we practice now, we have the question that's being asked on our essay. Is Scrooge a dynamic character? And by dynamic, we mean, does he change? So depending on your essay, you are either going to say, Scrooge is a dynamic character, or for those of you who do not believe that he changes, you're not going to say that he isn't. You would say Scrooge is a static character. Oh, heavens. So, how easy was that? Boom, there's your thesis. Where it gets a little bit tricky is into the next section. Once we have our thesis, we have to provide the reader with the ideas that are going to explain your thesis. So again, this one is from the example, and the statement was that schools should require uniforms. So now, list the reasons why. It says students will experience less peer pressure, uniforms cost less overall, and it promotes a reduction in school violence. Here is the big deal, the step 2. This is where you are going to combine your thesis and your statement of development. So both of those together says, students will experience less peer pressure, parents will spend less money on clothing, and schools will see a reduction of violence between students if uniforms are required in schools. So now we are going to look at our reasons why. Now our reasons why are all going to be pretty much the same. And all of those are the encounter, Christmas past, Christmas present, and Christmas future. Now, in your statement of development, this is where some individuality is going to come into play. You are going to identify how or what Scrooge changes. So this is again just an example, and you may format it in whatever way that you want. But this is how I'm going to combine my thesis and my reasons why. Because of his encounters with the spirits of Christmas, past, present, and yet to come, or yet to happen, I think is the way it's worded, Scrooge is inspired to change from a greedy, selfish individual into a concerned and generous member of his community. Awesome. Okay, so that looks good, except for the fact that I didn't mention the dynamic part. So now I need to look for a place where I'm going to add that in. So right here I could say Scrooge is a dynamic character because of his encounters with the spirits of Christmas past, present, and yet to happen. Maybe I want to make this part up here. So I'm going to say Scrooge is a dynamic character because of his encounters with the spirits of Christmas past, present, and yet to happen. Scrooge is inspired to change from a greedy, selfish individual into a concerned and generous member of his community. I'm actually okay with it going that way. Like I said before, you have some individuality when it comes to describing Scrooge and what it is that he changes into or from. But this is what every single sentence in your essay should immediately connect back to. Once you feel as though you are ready to write your thesis statement, I would like you to flip to the next page. And on that page, at the top, it says A Christmas Carol, Graphic Organizer. This is the introductory paragraph. And I should have that right here. So now you are going to only be looking at sentences 3 and 4. And this is where you're going to write your own thesis statement and your statement of development. So I have my thesis here. Scrooge is a dynamic character because he is inspired to change from a greedy, selfish man into a caring, generous member of his community. Why or how does he change? What are the reasons? Here is where I'm going to say Scrooge is inspired to change because of his encounters with the spirits of Christmas present, Christmas past, and Christmas yet to happen. And I'm going to get rid of inspired too because I don't like that repetition. So I'm going to change that to Scrooge is a dynamic character because he changed from a greedy, selfish man into a caring, generous member of his community after seeing, no, I think I might just leave it at that. Yep. So if we look at this all together, Scrooge is a dynamic character because he changed from a greedy, selfish man into a caring, generous member of his community. Scrooge is inspired to change because of his encounters with the spirits of Christmas present, past, and Christmas yet to happen. All right, so that is your task. You are going to write your own thesis. You may use my exact format, but the items in red right here, you are not to copy directly. So you need to come up with your own way to describe what happens with Scrooge. Once you finish that, you can have it checked by me, and you are on your way, ladies and gentlemen, to writing and completing your 5-paragraph essay. We're super close to the end. Nice winter break to follow afterwards, so keep working hard. I'm very proud of you.